Yeah, we back. Now, today's gonna be a quick video, but if y'all remember, about sometime last week, I dropped a video entitled, Nia Long says being black is holding us back, reaction. And in that video, I spoke about how Nia Long did an interview where she went on some platform where she said that she didn't want to be put into a box. She said she didn't want her work to be called or labeled as black movies. It's just movies, right? And now, today we have Idris Elba saying something very similar. And if you remember, for those of y'all who listened to my commentary in regards to that topic, I had said that the reason why Nia Long does not want to be placed in the category as black film, black actress, etc., it's not because she wants to knock down walls and break down barriers. The fact of the matter is, the black movies, quote unquote, simply do not have the same funding, promotion, budget, and funding as other high performing movies who may not be in the same genre. Check out that video because I go way deeper on the topic, but in summary, I had said that you never hear black musicians or black athletes or other places where black people are highly powerful, influential, and successful ever saying things like this. I never heard a black basketball player saying, "Don't call me a black man or a black basketball player. I'm just a ball player." In that same video, I pointed to the music industry. You never hear black musicians, producers, songwriters, rappers, singers, vocalists, performers ever complaining, talking about, "Don't call me a black musician, don't call me a black producer, don't call me a black artist. I'm just an artist. I'm just a musician. I'm just a human being playing music." In fact, you notice in the music industry, they embrace the title. We have no problem when it's called black music because we know black music is the best music around in terms of success, popularity, influence, power. In that video, I had said, anywhere you go, anywhere in the world, if it's black men living there, if it's black women living there, I guarantee they're the best musicians, the best songwriters, the best performers, and they putting out the best product, and it's selling the most. So you never hear this type of complaint from the black musicians, but you always hear it from the black actors and the actresses, right? Because the industry they are in, it's not created by them, it's not funded by them, it's not maintained by them. They complain about getting put in certain boxes, but guess what? You're not calling the shots. You're not the one putting up the money for the budget. You're not the head honcho in the building. And I remember I had paid homage to Tyler Perry because, as we know, Tyler Perry has his own independent movie studio complex. I never hear these type of complaints from Tyler Perry. And why is that? Tyler Perry is an independent minded brother. I may not be a fan of his product, but I gotta respect his work ethic. I gotta respect what he built. And the only way these black actors and performers in Hollywood will ever be happy is when they build their own infrastructure, when they embrace their own, when they start believing in their own, when they stop trying to integrate into a system, into a structure that was not created and built by them. When you're the one putting the money up, when you're the one writing the script, when you're the one producing the movie, when you're the one distributing the product to the market, then you won't have to complain about being put into a box or being placed into certain categories because you will be in control. Their problem is they're not in control. They're not in control, so they try to weasel their way around it. They try to go around the fact, "Oh, don't call me a black actor. Oh, don't call me a black movie. I'm just a movie. I'm just an actor." Man, listen, I'm gonna be honest. Y'all sound like clowns. Y'all sound crazy. But anyways, man, let's get into the article. Let's hear what Idris Elba had to say. Idris Elba doesn't want to be confined or constrained. The celebrated actor is getting candid about his thoughts on race, racism, and equality in Hollywood. Speaking with the Esquire while promoting his forthcoming film, Luther, he opens up about how he no longer considers himself as a black actor and prefers to be considered on the merits of his talents. "I stopped describing myself as a black actor when I realized it put me in a box," he said. Elba continued and said, "If we spent half the time not talking about the differences but the similarities between us, the entire planet would have a shift in the way we deal with each other. As humans, we are obsessed with race, and that obsession can really hinder people's aspirations, hinder people's growth," Elba reflected. "Racism should be a topic for discussion. Sure, racism is very real, but from my perspective, it's only as powerful as you allow it to be." For Elba, his initial motivation for becoming an actor wasn't anchored in representation or equality, but for the love of the art. "I didn't become an actor because I didn't see black people doing it and I wanted to change that. I did it because I thought that's a great profession and I could do a good job," he said. "As you get up the ladder, you get asked what it's like to be the first black to do this or that. Well, it's the same as it would be if I were white. It's the first time for me. I don't want to be the first black. I'm the first Idris." He does, however, hope to be an inspiration for young people interested in acting and getting into Hollywood. "I accept that it's part of my journey to be aware that in many cases, I might be the first to look like me to do a certain thing, and that's good to leave as part of my legacy," he shared, so that other people, black kids, but also white kids growing up in the same circumstances I grew up in, are able to see there was a kid who came from Canning Town who ended up doing what I do. It can be done. Now, let's get into it, man. First things first, going back to what I said in the introduction. Idris Elba functions currently in a structure in an industry where he does not dominate in any way. He functions as the talent. He does not function, as I said, as the financier, as the producer, the director, the funder, the one putting up the budget, the one connected with distribution. the one making moves worldwide, making money worldwide. He's not operating at that level yet. You know, he's small fry. He's small fry. The actors and the actresses in Hollywood, they small fry. You know, they don't got no power like that. So to be honest, when you don't got no power, you got to be respectful, right? You got to be respectful because you know you in somebody else's house. You in somebody else's crib. It's somebody else's property, right? So you can't really kick your feet up. For example, if you go to somebody's house, you're not going to be messing up the furniture. You're not going to be jumping on the sofa. You're going to be real respectful. You know, you're going to be like, oh, please, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you're going to be on your P's and Q's. You're not really going to be just letting your nuts hang, just letting your chest poke out. You're going to be real calm and collected. Real humble and respectful. Because, for example, going back to what I said, and that's why I had to big up Tyler Perry. If it was black men that was sitting at the top, the CEOs of these big movie studios, these big companies with the distribution on lock, you would see Idris Elba, you would see Nia Long, you would see all these different actors and actresses in Hollywood. They would have way more pride. They would say, what? Black movies? They would say it with pride. The same way we say black music with pride. When we talk about all our musical legends throughout the years and the decades, we're not scared to hide it. We don't hide behind it. We say, yes, those are black musicians. Yes, black songwriters, black performers, black producers, because it's a source of pride. Now, lately, the rap music in particular has been garbage, but, you know, we're talking about back in the day. You know, we're talking about the classics. We're talking about, you know, the legends. And besides rap music, you know, we done dominated way more genres than that, going back the last 100 years. And not only that, in the music industry, we've had many big businessmen, entrepreneurs, and CEOs that have came out of the music industry. You can't really say the same for the film industry. You can't really say it was so many actors and actresses that went out and basically started their own label, like how the rappers did. It's not too many of them having power and influence like that. So he has to be really respectful. So he has to tone the blackness down. What he's doing is not very much different than what many of our people do at their corporate job every day all through the week, right? I guarantee y'all not going to y'all corporate job talking about, yeah, I'm the first black, you know what I'm saying? Black. Y'all not doing that at your job, right? He's at work. We have to remember that. Yes, he's in the public eye, but he's at work. And when you're at work, you can't come through and kick your feet up on the table, man. You can't just come through and start knocking shit over. You know when you can do that? You can do that when you're the boss. You can do that when you're the one signing the check. You can do that when you're the one calling the shots. You can do that when you're the one hiring and firing. That's when you can come through and really say what you want, do what you want, and operate how you wish. Do you see the Chinese running away from their heritage and culture when they do business? Not at all. Do you see Jewish men running away from their heritage and culture when they do business? Not at all. Do you see any other group of men having to tone down or minimize their background, their ethnicity, and their identity in order to do business and operate? No, you don't. And the reason those other men do not have to do that is because they are vertically integrated in all levels of business of which they operate. They hold the power. When they operate, they can operate independently. They can embrace their culture. They don't got to minimize it. Because when you're the one dominating an industry or dominating a sector, and you're the one holding power and influence within that sector, you don't got to minimize yourself for nobody, especially if your presence and contribution is the reason why the sector is so profitable to begin with. For example, take Bob Marley. Bob Marley, yes, he was a biracial man. His dad was a white European man, but Bob Marley was a black man. I don't care what y'all say. And Bob Marley was one of the highest performing artists of all time, still to this day, one of the most successful artists, one of the most successful songwriters, one of the most successful performers, one of the most successful musicians to ever walk the face of the earth. And did Bob Marley have to minimize himself for anybody? Bob Marley wasn't even a full black man. He was walking around letting his nuts hang, kicking his feet up on the damn table, standing on the damn couch, jumping off the damn couch, and they couldn't tell him nothing. He glorified his blackness. He maximized his blackness. And guess what? He had fans from all over the world, from every corner, every pocket, every crevice of the planet. They love Bob Marley, even though they destroyed his legacy. And now the image that they put of Bob Marley is this guy who was sitting back smoking weed, when if you listen to Bob Marley, he was talking about, what was Bob Marley talking about? Bob Marley was talking about, we got to overthrow the damn establishment. We got to overthrow the government. The white boys, they took us from Africa. Put us on the damn plantation. They took our mind away. They took our identity away. They took our culture away. They took everything that we have away. They went to Africa, took the minerals and the resources. They sabotaging our government, sabotaging our politics. Bob Marley was talking crazy on that music, man. Bob Marley was talking crazy on them records, bro. He didn't have to minimize his blackness for nobody. And guess what? Because he was such a high performing musician, because they seen how we was selling out shows and the records was flying off the shelf, guess what? They still was offering them the big bucks, the major record deals, because guess what? It doesn't matter. You don't have to minimize yourself for nobody if your product is the best. If you are the one dominating the industry and the sector, it doesn't matter. Bob Marley could have easily said, don't put me in a box as a black musician, as a black man. I'm just a man playing music. I'm just a man playing music for the world, man. You know, I'm not a black man, you know. Listen, Idris, I understand Idris. Everybody don't got that Everybody don't got that spirit inside of them. Every black man don't got that spirit inside of them from the ancestors. I understand a lot of y'all not really, the ancestors didn't really come down and touch y'all. They don't really rock with y'all like that. So, you know, you might not have that same fire inside of you like a Bob Marley. I understand. Just do your thing, make your movies. I get it, bro. But listen, tell the truth. The reason why you don't want to be labeled as a black actor is because the black movies are simply not performing at the same level as the other movies. They don't get the same budget. They don't get the same funding, and they do not put up the same performance. So in order for you to avoid people making the comparison when the different films hit the market, you and Nia Long just want people to act like they're not black movies. They're just movies. So they're all in the same bucket, right? No. We're never going to put you in the same bucket as the white people. We're different from the white folks, man. We're different. We got different, different films, different music, different cuisines. We different. It's okay to embrace the fact that we different. We are unique, and that is our strength. Unfortunately, you and Nia Long look at that as a weakness. And it's a weakness because in your line of work, in your industry, your performance is weak compared to the other ones. It's weak in terms of the dominance and the, it is what it is, bro. Like the metrics that I mentioned before. It is what it is. That's why you guys are really mad. That's why you guys don't want to be called black actors and actresses, because you want access to some of that white money, some of that white budget, some of that white audience. You trying to cross over. You know what I mean? You trying to cross over, put out the #1 album, cross over to the white folk. I get it, bro. I get it. But listen, I just want to tell you, you sounded like a weak black man. You don't got to minimize yourself for nobody, man. As long as you are #1, the highest performer, the one putting up the biggest numbers, it doesn't matter what box they put you in. You're going to be put in the box with the winners. You know what I mean? You're going to be put in the winner's box. So stop trying to crawl out the black box because you're trying to crawl inside the white box. Listen, get inside the black box with us, man. And this is what we got to do. We got to build our own infrastructure. We got to build our own media companies. We got to build our own movie studios like Tyler Perry. We got to build our own record labels. We got some, we need more. On the level of Universal Records and Sony Records and Atlantic Records, we got to compete with them. We got to stop selling our companies to them. We got to stop signing these distribution deals with them, and we have to compete with them in the market, in the arena of business. Why is there no competitor to Atlantic Records, a black one? Why are all of our record labels a subsidiary of theirs? Idris Elba and Nia Long, they simply do not want to compete. You got to compete. You can't get off the field and say, listen, I'm not competing on the field, man. Don't call me a black actor no more. I'm just an actor. Listen, you're defeated. You're defeated, man. You are defeated. But thank God we got people like Tyler Perry who are not defeated. And Tyler Perry, he's doing what needs to be done. So shout out to Tyler Perry. Yes, once again. And it's your boy Never Card. That's Celine back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in that ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Get for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so elite. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.